Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina. I am your host, Tina Thompson. Always great to be here, and it's always great to catch up with, I call old friends. I got to know Sally Sutter several years ago when I did radio, and she and her husband, John, the Mermaid and Merman, would be guests on the show. And I just love to hear the story behind why she and John had got started with their mermaid travel business. How are you, first of all?
I'm good. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah. Keeping busy?
Very busy, yeah.
You're a very active gal. Mm-hmm. Is it because of traveling that you keep busy, or do you have busy, other kind of busy?
Mostly travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My travel, booking travel.
Which is a passion.
Correct? It is.
And with that, how was it and why was it you got started with Mermaid Travel, Sally?
The long story is when I was 50, I got my scuba certification. And I thought how nice it would be to have just offer snorkeling and scuba trips just for women. So we called it Mermaid Adventure Tours. We live in Ohio. That didn't go over too well. So
it made it tough, huh?
So we had the opportunity to join what's called a host company. So we changed our name to Mermaid Travel. And I always loved planning our trips. I mean, down to the very detail.
Was it because you liked to have in mind what you were going to do, or is it partly you like to be organized and like to kind of have a set schedule with things?
Both. I like to know what we're going to do, but I'm really kind of
helps. Makes it a smoother process.
Exactly.
Have you ever just gone on a trip and just kind of let's go? And if you have, what happened? No. It was best for everybody not to just do that, right, Sally?
You can be spontaneous up to a point, and not everything that you plan goes as planned.
True. Yeah.
So my motto is kind of embrace the unexpected, because it might lead you to different, better experiences.
What advice can you give when traveling as far as that, where just kind of embrace it as it comes, because sometimes there are the unexpected that happens?
That is my advice. You just have to kind of go with the flow sometimes. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nice when things in general go as planned, but there's always that unexpected.
Is it okay to share what is the most unexpected thing, other than the time that you were out over in, what was it, the Middle East, and somebody...
Oh, you remember that story.
I will never forget that story. So for my most unexpected story with Sally is the time that she told and shared with me that she was, trying to be purchased with animals?
Yeah. I was in Morocco with my youngest son, and we were doing a camel ride in the Sahara Desert. And then coming back, we stopped at a merchant's, and actually they make the argan oil for the shampoos.
Oh, yeah. Okay, the Moroccan, that's where
it comes from. And a merchant wanted to buy me for his wife. And this was 7 years ago, so I wasn't...
It wasn't like it was 20 or 30.
Right.
Even. So, I mean, like, where it may seem that maybe, no, it never seems right.
It never seems right. He was speaking French, my son was speaking French, and he said, well, that's my mother, and she's married. So he was offering camels for me.
And, I mean, could that have happened, be it that your son wasn't there? I mean, not really, but it would have been awkward.
It would have been awkward because I had no idea what
he was saying.
Fortunately, I was with a small tour group, so I could just extract it myself. But there's dangers. Women can handle themselves fine, but there's some places that you really don't.
Yeah, and I know that with traveling, that is something that, of course, you as a professional travel agency, where you will help plan folks, you can prepare them in things and situations that may happen, because, I mean, you have firsthand experience.
I do. I do.
Oh, yeah. So if somebody is interested with wanting to find out more about the services, because I know that you have so much to offer, and that is a big reason why we're here as well. Not just travel tips and talk a little bit about Mermaid Travel, but the other extended, I want to say, service that you offer that not all travel agencies actually have the knowledge. I mean, because you do travel so much. Mm-hmm. What can you give to, like, your phone number? Do you want to give a Facebook information like that would be a way for folks to contact you?
Sure. I just set up a new website.
Nice.
So it's mermaidtravel.tours. My email address is sally@mermaidtravel.tours.
Okay.
And my Facebook it's Facebook/Mermaid Travel, capital M, capital T. You probably remember that.
So Sally, what is your favorite thing about all of your traveling that you've done throughout the years?
You know, and I'm really passionate about this. I find the more you travel, the different places you go, and it doesn't matter if, like, you go down to Texas or you go over to Illinois or wherever, you find that we're more alike than different. And everybody wants the same thing. They want the health of their family. They want to provide for their family. They want to do well. They want to better their situation. We all want that.
Right.
So as you travel throughout the world, this is what you find. And it changes your perspective.
Really?
Yeah.
I do.
And I'm very passionate about that.
A quick story. I always have these stories about my best friend because this is something I don't recommend that you do. She told me she went on a trip and she went down south and she thought that she would pretend she had a British accent. Well, little did she realize that the people that she would meet were from Britain. So they were like, "Where are you from?" And she was like, I am busted. It wasn't quite an accent from anywhere. But no, that's just fun. I do that sometimes with me and my daughter when we went on vacation. I was like, let's just talk in a British accent today. And she's like, okay. And we about drove my son crazy. But what is it that you do for folks that can really help them when it comes to traveling?
I help especially those who have some kind of, usually mobility or oxygen problems, things like that. They're like, of the almost 74 million baby boomers, about 40% have some type of disability. I can't do much for the cognitive.
Right.
But
right.
for mobility, and I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I just helped a couple go on a cruise. They've never been on a cruise. They never thought they'd be able to travel. They both needed mobility scooters. He needed a hospital bed and a lift recliner. And I was able to, through the companies I work with, provide those, waiting for them in their cabin.
Nice.
But you have to know that you just can't get any cabin to have these things provided.
Yeah.
But they were so appreciative of being able to just go and travel. And I don't think a lot of people who have these disabilities think they can go.
Because they think they're being held back.
Yes.
Because some folks think, oh, I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to be a nuisance. I don't want to be. That's not what it's about. It's about going on vacation and enjoying yourself.
Yep. You should have seen them zipping around with their scooters
Oh,
on
no.
board ship.
I'm just like, I see me like later in life with my friends almost running over people. Get out of my way. No.
And they were concerned because they thought, are we going to be the only ones on board ship with the scooters? I said, no.
And they're not.
They're not. And they were able to go, we went to the Bahamas, so they were able to go into Freeport and Nassau with their scooters. Their daughter was with them. So,
Why did you find that that was something that you wanted to offer to folks through your services with Mermaid Travel?
because of the experience I had with my husband, and we got, especially with special needs group, he needed oxygen constantly. So through special needs, we were able to get the oxygen concentrator delivered right to the cabin on the ship. And so it just built my relationship with special needs. And
was he still able to travel as far as like in vehicles and things like that? And was this flying? Is this kind of
well,
what, or was he
yeah,
even able
he was able to get like a portable oxygen concentrator that you can.
He was, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of course, I mean, that's something I wouldn't know about right now, you know, unless I was put in a situation or I have a family member that I would need for myself. So how is it if you know somebody, you've planned a trip for them and they have broken a foot, where they have problems with mobility? Can you still help them in that way at the last minute?
Because I did help somebody a few years ago, right before his honeymoon cruise, he fell and hurt his back.
Oh, wow.
Thought he would have to cancel, but with the aid of the motorized scooter, And it's actually a pretty simple process. I need to know the weight and the height.
What do you normally do? Do you just go, oh, no worries, I've got that taken care of for you?
Sometimes.
Well, you do, and you should be proud that you have those services to offer. Yeah.
But I said, this is an alternative. You don't have to cancel your trip if this is something you want to do. And you can, some people think they're slow walkers, and they're going to hold everybody up.
Right.
Motorized scooter is appropriate for that too. So it's mostly mobility problems, but I can work with people with visual problems. I can. And I have my autism travel certification. So
you do?
I do.
So you can do that as well and help families with that. What has been your very favorite trip of all time?
Oh.
I know. Is that a tough one? I'm sorry.
It is. I sometimes maybe I'm feeling a little snarky. The one I haven't been on yet.
The one that's funny. But the one she has not been on yet. Yes. That is a little way to see that. I love that, to look at it that way. I just a minute. What is this here that I've got here? Because you do travel and you bring back souvenirs for yourself,
I do.
Right?
And I do a lot of travel. I do a lot of trips with the senior center here. So our last trip was to San Antonio, Texas. On the way, we stop at different venues. This candle holder is from the Memphis National Metal Museum, which doesn't sound like it's super interesting, but it's a wonderful place. So they have artisans that make this, and of course, sell these. And they have demonstrations. It's just a wonderful place to go that you wouldn't think would be a great place to go. The candle came from Fredericksburg, Texas, which is also the home of the Museum of the Pacific War, because Admiral Nimitz lived there. And these are just like fascinating things.
Yeah, and we have that in every state.
Yes.
We really do.
Just some tucked away places that you don't normally.
And you can help people find those.
I can help people find those.
What is your contact information, Sally?
It's Sally at mermaidtravel.tours. My phone number is 740-407-2157. And my website is mermaidtravel.tours.
Thank you so much for taking the time for being
here. I'm so glad.
If anybody wants anything, give Sally a call.
Give me a call.
And then, her Facebook and all that. I'm going to be back here in just a minute. You're watching Down Home with Tina.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Hi, I'm Amanda Wattenberg, Regional Director at Ohio Guidestone. Do you or does someone you know have a substance abuse disorder? Have you been thinking about getting help, but don't know where to start? It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, but it's the most important step you can take. If you think you know everything that's available in Fairfield County, think again. Like other chronic diseases, addiction can be managed successfully. Treatment enables people to counteract addiction's powerful, disruptive effects on the brain's behavior and regain control of their lives. Even if it takes multiple attempts, treatment does work and people do recover from addiction every day. So keep trying because your life matters. You matter, and we're here to help. Call 211 and ask for the treatment resources available right here in Fairfield County.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. Don't go anywhere. I've got Sally Sutter coming back with me for the last segment of the show. But right now I have got a young man who I think I've known him since he was quite young. And the reason being is because he wrestled when my son just graduated from high school last year, when he wrestled many years ago, being that my son graduated last year. I don't even know how many years, but Gunnar, I watched you grow up, and he grew up from a little man to a big fella that is going to be participating in a really cool first time ever event coming up this weekend. It's Gunnar George. Hi, Gunnar. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me and talk with me on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Have you always been an athlete?
Yeah.
How old were you when you started wrestling? Because were you one of the little ones? I don't remember.
Yeah, I was one of the smaller ones, but like
You started
bigger.
to one of
I was
the
in the heavier weight classes.
for your age. What age was that you started wrestling?
I think maybe 7 or 8.
So yeah, it was kind of like, was it the first year probably that you could wrestle?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's like. Fairfield Union is where he wrestled years. You're still wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And you've continued it throughout the years?
Yes.
What event are you going to be in this weekend?
I'm going to be in the World's Strongest Teen, or the Arnold's World's
There's
Strongest Teen, or wherever.
Yeah, and it's the very first ever. They're going to have that up in Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you prepare for something like that? Is it something that you think that you've been preparing for with just from wrestling so many years ago? How would that all kind of come hand in hand? Or does it? Are they completely two different things altogether?
Pretty much 2 different things, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, well, I've been training for a while for just strongman in general, just for the fun of it.
Okay.
So.
Are there other events that has led you up to when this was something that became available for you to compete in, that you could prepare for something like this? Or no, is this the first of its kind that you're going to participate in?
I've done competitions before. But
You have?
Yeah.
What competitions have you done in the past?
Strongman competitions just for fun, like just to do them.
Okay, so they're not just official, they're just kind of ones that you do that you have, or do you go to an event? You sign up, you pay, and
I
you
sign
win
up
awards.
and pay.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the experience of what those have been like for you and how you prepare for a strongman competition.
Pretty crazy, actually. Well, you want me to tell you about my first competition?
Your first experience would be awesome for anybody who really, I guess, is interested in knowing too.
It was pretty intense because my first official lift, I was pretty nervous because I was nervous in case my hands were gonna slip or anything was gonna slip off.
Is it because you get moisture in your
Yeah, I
hands
get pretty
from
sweaty.
being? I think we all get a little nervous, and that's where one of the first places is your forehead and your palms of your hands and things like that. You don't wear gloves when you lift?
No, I use more of wrist straps for grips, and so the bar doesn't slip off of your hands.
Okay.
But it can if it gets to that point.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm so new to this. Obviously, you're getting the picture, aren't you? That I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
So what does it take to train for something like this? Do you have to eat a certain way? Is it just practice the lifting?
I don't diet. I
Yeah.
just lift, basically, train for lift and train, keep my conditioning up and all that for reps.
Do you have any idea what you're up against for this weekend when it comes to the Teen Strong?
I've met one of them before. He's pretty cool. And, but
Are you ready? I
Yeah.
guess is the question.
Yeah.
Do you, I don't even know if you want to say how much you're lifting or if it's kind of a secret because you don't want your competitors to know, but do you care to share what your heaviest lift has been?
for deadlift,
Yeah, because we'll talk about, I guess, the different categories as well, because you're
Okay.
in different events, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my heaviest deadlift I've ever done was probably 425 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that was from an 18-inch axle deadlift. My regular deadlift's 365 pounds.
What does it mean when you say deadlift?
Basically, you're pulling a bar from the floor up to your hips.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's what it is, yeah.
Pretty much.
You're in 5 different events coming up this weekend, right?
Yes.
What are they?
There is sandbag carry, 150 pounds. Sandbag carry and load, 150 pounds. Axle clean and press, that's 143 pounds. 13-inch axle deadlift, that is 293 pounds. And yoke walk
Do you have a favorite?
deadlift.
Okay, which you already explained what that one
Yeah.
is. So is that one the easiest to explain, or can you explain what some of the others are that people will expect to see when you're lifting them?
The sandbag carry, you want me to explain how to do it?
Yeah.
Well,
Or what we're going to be seeing you do.
Well, I'm going to be throwing it pretty much trying to toss the bag onto my hands and get all the weight, and then I'm going to try and bring it up to my lap, and then stand up with it and start
Okay.
walking.
Okay. How far do you have to walk?
Max distance, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so however far you can go with it is
Yeah.
what that means.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Wow. Any other events that you're looking forward to doing?
Clean and press for axle. It's basically like where you deadlift the bar, but you bounce it off your hips and throw it onto your shoulders.
Okay, yeah. That's
and then
probably
you
one
start pressing it.
a lot of people have seen that one. It's one of the most
Yeah.
popular, common ones, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Would that be safe to say?
It's really common in like CrossFit and all that.
yeah.
It's a little common in
Do you know what
strongman.
time your competitions will be this weekend, Gunnar?
N-
How do we find out? Probably go to the website. It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock,
9
yeah.
o'clock in the morning. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Just have one more question to ask you, and I won't drill you anymore. So, who inspires you the most, Gunnar, and why?
Probably my dad, my mom, and my stepdad. The most, because they all push me to get to my goals in life, and they always say you got to stay out of trouble to do what you want to do in life.
Yeah. And have you done that, do you think, so far?
Yeah.
How are you as a role model when it comes to your friends, with you having such great role models like that in your life?
I think I'm more of like a pusher. Like I push people to keep going and to
not
make
give up.
Yeah, pretty
Do you
much.
believe in believing in yourself?
Yeah.
Your mom always does these positive quotes that I've seen, and I'm sure one
Yeah.
of them's believer somewhere, because I
On
don't know that's
Instagram,
coming.
yeah, she always posts them.
She's always posting it. So you see those
Yeah.
as well. So you're a follower of your mom's. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome, man. I like to hear that. Some teenagers don't like to admit things like that.
Yeah.
So, what do you offer advice to any teenager who wants to do something like what you're doing with this?
Start now if you want to. I
Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up.
All right.
Yeah.
That sounds good. No, you're perfect. Perfect answer. Thank you so much. Gunnar, thanks for being with me. Folks,
you.
don't go anywhere. Good luck to you this weekend.
Thank you.
I'll be back. You're watching Downhill with Tina.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
It's a hometown bank. It's located here in Fairfield County. Branches are convenient. They're located here in Pickerington, where my office is. I'm in Lancaster a lot, and they have plenty of branches there. And I much prefer dealing with the hometown banks rather than the larger nationwide chain banks.
So far, everybody's been so personable, and for us to bank with the local bank, and we bank in Lancaster, it's been so wonderful because we'll call somebody, Steve will call somebody, and they'll get back to us right away, or they'll say, okay, we're going to make a decision in the basement tomorrow, and they'll get back to us, rather than calling a bigger bank where we had to wait, and we didn't always get the same person the next time we called for a investment banking opportunity, or getting something appraised, any of those kind of things.
Everybody is very customer friendly. A lot of times I'll bring my dog Bear with me, and the staff love him here, and of course he loves them and the treats that he gets. So it's just a nice kind of a family type environment.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have Sally Sutter with me. She and her husband John, who John is no longer with us unfortunately, but he just left so much good and positive energy when he walked into a room. He was just amazing. But before we get back to Sally, because I do have a big question that I'd like to ask her, to make it kind of a part of my show, I think those of you who've watched Down Home with Tina on a regular basis, you know that inspirational people and folks in the community are very important to me. So I wanted to ask Sally, who inspires you?
Well, it was John.
I'm not surprised at all.
We started this company together. He was always so very supportive of anything, our plans, anything we wanted to do. And when he passed away, I considered it a legacy to him.
Really?
To keep the company going.
Did you have thoughts of ending the company because you didn't have the Merman with you?
Just briefly, but it was having this company that helped while he had pancreatic cancer, so it was...
He's what kept you, or the company is what kept you, is it busy? Not that John didn't keep you busy, because he kept us busy.
On
our toes.
And afterwards, having that to work on. And I wouldn't stop it because it would not be a good legacy for me to...
And he wouldn't have wanted you to stop it, would he have?
No.
What is your very favorite thing about John?
He was just so very supportive, and he loved me.
He did, and you knew that. I've got goosebumps, chills, because you knew that when he walked into a room. I mean, he was just so proud to be by Sally's side as the Merman. And did he like chuckle about every time he said Merman?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Merman.
He did, yeah. But he loved it.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
The
Yeah,
Merman.
it was, and to continue the legacy of just having, he's always with us. He'll always be a part of that.
Oh,
so as you continue on, what was his favorite trip with the two of you? He's the one, I think, that told me that you were about being purchased by. I think he was. Did you think that was quite
he wasn't
humorous?
There.
Right. No, I know. Well, humorous because you weren't really.
I wasn't really.
No.
He would have been surprised by a lot of camels in the backyard.
Well, Sally didn't come back, but I
got
a lot
camels.
of camels. Oh, Sally, that is just funny. It's all get out. Well, again, you're just such a joy and such a treat to have and to be around. And anybody, if you want to hear a fun story, you want to laugh, a smile, I'm sure Sally's got some kind of story. Like I always say, my best friend. I'm sure Sally's got stories about what she's done and
next time I'll tell you about my encounter in Jamaica with Dr. Love.
Oh, wow. That sounds like Valentine's Day.
Oh, no, it's not about.
No, I'm kidding. No. I'm sorry. It doesn't sound like it was so fun. It was
interesting.
Interesting. That is something you always get on vacation, I think. Well, from time to time. Interesting. Thanks. Again, thank you so much, Sally, for what you do in the community and giving the opportunity to folks who are more immobile than some can still get an opportunity.
I just want to connect people with the world.
Yes, because like you said, you can really get a different perspective of it when you actually see and experience other places.
And it changes you.
I say other places in the world across the United States. Yeah, you learn a lot about other folks. I do want to go ahead and thank right now those who Down Home with Tina is brought to you by, which is Huddle Tire Company, Ava Jewelers, Ireland's Spa and Salon, Fairfield Area Humane Society, and Walker's Shoe Center. Folks, I hope that you have a wonderful week. And again, just keep up to date on what's going on with Down Home with Tina. You can watch it on Facebook at Down Home with Tina, on YouTube, CLN, Your Hometown Connection, and Spectrum 1021 on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 10 a.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. God bless. Good day.